What's up guys, this is Carefree Llama here, and today I am going to teach you how to get heroic public events, mostly because it's becoming very annoying when people ruin our chance of getting extra loot at these heroic events. So stay tuned and please learn these awesome tricks. Alright, so we're going to start this video off with the Walker public event. Possibly the easiest one to know how to trigger the heroic event because it basically slaps you aside the face with it. You're going to destroy this walker, and as it falls down, you're going to see it drops these little orbs. You take these orbs to the generators on either side of these force fields. There are 3 force fields, 2 generators beside each of them. Once every generator has an orb in it, the force fields are going to drop. Once those force fields drop, a second walker is going to spawn right in there. Once that walker spawns in, you're going to want to grab these scorch cannons that are laying around all over the playing field now where those force fields used to be. You're going to point those scorch cannons right at those walkers, go to town, make sure you destroy both of them within the time limit. Once both of these walkers are destroyed, you will trigger that public event completion, and you will see a beautiful heroic completed right on top of there for you. Alright, now we're going to talk about the next public event, which is the Cabal Injection Rig. And it's this massive structure here that drops from the sky like all public events do. And it will spawn a boss. Once you kill the boss, which my teammate has managed to do extremely quickly, a dome will appear around the injection rig, and then these vents will open. There's 3 on top that'll open, 3 in the middle, and then 1 on the bottom that'll open. Once they open, just do as much damage to it like I'm doing here until you see smoke come out of it. Once smoke comes out of it, it means you have destroyed that entire section. So there are 3 vents on the top, but you only have to destroy 1 of them and it'll destroy all 3 of those vents. So there's only 1 thing to destroy on top, 1 thing to destroy in the middle like I just did there, and then 1 thing to destroy on the bottom. And once you do all those 3 things, it'll spawn into the heroic event. So right here I'm killing some ads just so we don't mess up on our very last chance to get this done. And then this last one opens up at the bottom right here. You damage it until it breaks. The shield will still hurt you. It'll still burn. Kills me right here, but we did join the public event. Now that the public event is triggered, it spawns this massive boss here that you just have to take out. Now, during the process, there's going to be a lot of ads, warhounds as well, so don't feel like you have to ignore those. You can kill those as well. I choose to just ignore and get this one done as soon as possible. And one more note is if you happen to miss any step, there's only 3 bosses that'll spawn that you can kill, and then the vents will appear. If you miss any of those vents during those 3 phases, it's not too late. You can destroy 2 vents in one phase. Like I showed you at the very beginning, we had destroyed the top one real quick, and we started damaging that second one. So don't give up if you miss just 1, but this is a hard one to get unless you have at least 1 other teammate that's helping you with it. I destroyed the guy, he died, heroic event triggered, and that's how you do that one. The next public event is a Vex one, very similar to the one on Venus, where you can't let them sacrifice themselves to the middle. First, you just have to capture the capture plate I was standing in, then the one I'm looking at. And after you capture both of those, this third one's going to pop up. You make your way to that, and be sure you capture it as well. Now, you only have to stand in 1 at a time. You don't have to be capturing all 3 at once, because once you capture one, it will despawn, leaving. And once you capture that third one, you will join the heroic event like it says right there. Now, one of the only difference when you join the heroic event is it does spawn a couple of extra enemies, including this yellow bar Hydra. So just destroy those, and then from here on out, it's just as simple as the regular public event. All you need to do is just destroy the enemies. Don't allow them to make their way to the center of the map, because when they do, they sacrifice themselves to whatever that is in the center. Very similar to the public event that was on Venus and Destiny 1. And here you see that we still have 10 of 10 waiting. It's a pretty easy public event, honestly. It's hardly ever that you'll try this one and fail the event itself. And even on top of that, most of the time you're able to even do it on heroic. It might be a little tough by yourself, but if you have one teammate who can be watching and making sure no one's sacrificing, you can stand on the plates, and you guys will get it taken care of, no problem. Here we go, heroic event complete, and time to get that shiny loot. And the next public event we're going to be talking about is the Taken Blight. This one is the most infuriating if there are noobs who don't understand what to do. On the very first phase, only one of these domes will spawn. If you just simply step in the dome, step out, you get a buff that allows you to do damage to the main Blight in the center. If you sit there and do damage to it over and over and over, it'll trigger the heroic event. In this case, we have other people who are messing it up and have actually destroyed each of the mini Blights, making us go to where there's 3 Blights, and it just takes so much more work at this stage. We really didn't think we were going to get it triggered in time. We were working hard to do as much damage as we can. Luckily, as we stepped in the shield and out of the shield and got the buff, we were able to do enough damage to the main Blight to trigger this guy spawning in. Next step is pretty easy to guess. Just kill him. And it doesn't take too long. You can tell here we do have a lot of people around. I believe it was at least 4, possibly even 6 people who were here doing damage, and that's why they messed it up, made it difficult for us. But luckily we were able to still get this triggered by, again, not destroying the mini Blights, standing inside of the dome, getting the buff, stepping back out and shooting that big Blight in the center. And I keep repeating this because I want people to learn this and stop ruining this heroic event for everybody else in Destiny. But there you go, we kill that main bad guy who spawned, and we complete the heroic event. And then we're going to go over to the Witch Ritual. Try and say that 5 times fast. Actually, don't try it. You'll just make me look bad. And so when you get here, you'll see that there's 2 knights guarding these kind of summoning portal hex circle things. Stand on those, and their witches in the front will lose their shields. Start putting as much damage on them as you can, and once you destroy them, stand back on the plates. Look above the portal that was just created, and you're going to see 2 force fields that are protecting crystals. If you keep standing on the plates, those force fields will go down. You can damage those crystals. Once both crystals are completely destroyed, a knight's going to spawn in instead of a witch. Kill the knight, end the public event, and you'll see again the beautiful notification that you just completed a heroic event. And now we're at a Cabal public event, and they're trying to excavate, and we're not going to let them excavate because, you know, that's evil to do. So instead we're going to stand in this circle while our ghost overloads the lander here, or overrides it, and then the ship is going to actually spawn up. We need to DPS, destroy that ship, get it out of the sky before you completely take over the lander here, and then this guy will spawn in for you. Destroy him, kill him. This is the heroic part. And even if you shoot his corpse 3 times with a golden gun, he stays dead. You win the heroic event. Next is a Servitor. Probably the most upfront. I mean, it's kind of in your face. All you do is destroy the Servitor. But the heroic is a little bit more tricky because these smaller Servitors are going to spawn in. You need to destroy them as quickly as possible. First, 1 will spawn, then 2 will spawn, then 3. Follow the trails of energy, destroy them quickly. You have about 30 seconds for each wave, so that 3rd wave, destroying 3, can get a little bit tricky to maintain and do as quickly as possible. But once that happens and you destroy all 3 of them on that final wave, the heroic event's triggered. And now you just DPS the Servitor. Kind of one of the more boring ones, aside from the fact that he'll throw you up in the air, which is actually really cool. Be ready for that. Don't use your double or triple jump. Kill the Servitor. Any means necessary. I run out of ammo here, so I just go start stabbing him to death. And once he dies, the heroic event's triggered. Whether you're dead or not, it really doesn't matter. I mean, so don't judge me here, because I come back alive and look. Heroic event complete. Next, we're going to look at the Glimmer Drills, and this is kind of a little bit tricky. I don't know that I would have figured this out unless I was told. As they come in, there's going to be 3 different targets you have to destroy at each of these Glimmer extraction plants. Once you destroy those 3, a 4th will spawn. So what you need to do is, before destroying those 3 targets, you need to find the Glimmer Drill. It's one of these pieces of equipment around here. There's 4 little force fields holding up the drill, and then a 5th piece that looks just like this right here. And what you're going to want to do is destroy it. Put as much damage on it as you can, and there's one of these at each of the locations. Once you destroy the 3rd one at the 3rd location, if you've destroyed the first 2, a big glimmer pile is going to appear where the Glimmer Drill was on the 3rd one. Stand in the glimmer pile until this guy spawns. Kill him. Stand in the glimmer pile if you can while you're killing him, but it's really difficult. It becomes a lot easier once you kill him. Bring the glimmer all the way up to 100, and look at that shiny completion notice. You've just completed another heroic event.
He's gonna hump me, Joel. He's gonna
Thank you for watching. Hopefully you'll be able to get more public events in the future now. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want more Destiny content in the future.
It's dangerous.
Get on the ground!